What a pleasure to see Jaynee Day with Second Harvest Food Bank. Jaynee, you've been with Second Harvest since '88?
That's correct.
You're not only the CEO, you oversee the daily operations, but you also kind of have the vision and leadership for the entire organization.
Absolutely, absolutely.
What a lot of people who are new to Nashville and may not know about you and Second Harvest Food Bank, I think this is a great opportunity to share for all the newcomers what this organization provides for our community.
Well, Second Harvest Food Bank of Middle Tennessee opened its doors in 1978, and it was started by a group of individuals, community leaders, church leaders, government leaders, who were trying to meet the daily needs of people who were struggling with hunger. They had heard about an organization called Second Harvest in Phoenix, Arizona. It is the first food bank in the country, and we visited that. And really its purpose was to garner food from the food industry that might go to waste, then redistribute it back out to individuals and other nonprofit agencies that are feeding the hungry here in Middle Tennessee.
Brilliant.
So the very first year that we were open in '78, we actually distributed about 160,000 pounds of food to about 75 agencies. This past year, we distributed over 31 million pounds of food, which provided about 26 million meals to hungry Middle Tennesseans.
Oh, that's incredible. There's so much prosperity in Nashville in particular and in Middle Tennessee. It's just hard to believe that there is that much food insecurity, so much hunger. Why is there such a need?
Well, unfortunately there is. You know, for many of us who have come through this recession, it's been difficult for all of us, and many of us have recovered. But there are a number of people who have not recovered. And so people always say, what does the face of hunger look like? Well, the face of hunger looks just like you and me, Amy, just like us. It could be the person sitting next to you in your church pew. It could be the person that your child sits next to in school. It could be your neighbor right next door who for some unforeseen reason is struggling with hunger. So when I talk about it, I talk about in terms of individuals that I know. So LaToya, she's a working mom making an hourly wage. She's struggling to put food into her cabinets, but sometimes it doesn't go quite far enough during holidays or summer breaks for her and her children. Or perhaps it's Charles. He's the face of hunger, a senior citizen who is on a very limited income and has to make the decision, do I pay for my food or do I pay for my medicine? Nobody should ever have to make that decision. Or for Allison, an 8-year-old girl who struggles with hunger each and every day, and she shouldn't have to make that decision either because she's not getting enough of the right nutritious food to fuel her body and help her to learn and grow. So there are over 1 million Tennesseans in our state who struggle with hunger each and every day. And for me, that's too many. And we can make a difference.
Tennessee has the 9th highest adult obesity rate in the country. Second for high school kids is where we land. So if hunger is an issue, why do we have these obesity numbers?
Well, for many of our clients who live in low-income areas, the only access that they have to food is sometimes food that's not nutritious. It's food that may be high in fat and salt, and therefore will cause many of these food-related illnesses. Now, about 1/3 of the clients that we see actually struggle with high blood pressure. 2/3 actually have diabetes. So that's why it's important that we educate people and make available to individuals who need it good, nutritious food, fresh food, produce, various kinds of milk and cheese and other kinds of perishable food items that we can collect through a variety of programs that we have through Second Harvest.
You are able to get some of the fresh produce
donated
and to the people.
So we have 2 programs that really kind of feed into that whole program, which is one of them is our Middle Tennessee's Table, which is our grocery rescue program, where we pick up items mostly perishable, both dairy and produce out of the grocery stores that's no longer marketable but still very edible.
Good. Okay.
And our latest program is called Farm to Families, and we're working with 25 farms here in the local area to glean from those farms. Sometimes it's their first line product, sometimes it's their second line or their second. Sometimes we have to purchase that for just a little bit on the dollar. But farmers want to give back, and this is their way to help us provide good, nutritious food. So this past year, we were able to collect and distribute to our community about 1.5 million pounds of fresh produce, just locally. That's only locally. We did over 10 million pounds of produce throughout our entire service area. So it is something that we're very conscious of at Second Harvest. We know it will help us to lead better lives if we can eat more nutritious food, and we can all become better citizens within our community and be able to contribute.
And speaking of that, that dovetails right into the next issue. Next question: as an individual, what opportunities are there to help? Because obviously you need a lot of people to, whether it's gathering the food, distributing it. What can an individual do to help?
Well, anybody can do just about anything. So I'm going to give you 3 ways that you can help. One would be you can donate your time. We always need people to come down and help us to sort the food and then get it redistributed back out.
And that's quite an operation. I have to tell folks, Jaynee gave us a tour, some friends, and it is quite a setup.
And it's a wonderful opportunity. You can bring your church group, your school group. You can come as an individual and just work several mornings a week. You can pack backpacks for children. So there's lots of opportunities there. You can contribute financially, and it doesn't have to be a lot, because every dollar you contribute provides 4 meals.
Every dollar
you contribute, we can provide 4 meals to our community. And then the other way is you can host a food drive at your school, your church, your place of business. You know, for every canned tuna and every canned meat product and peanut butter, that's protein that we can add to people's diet, and that's very simple to do. Or you can conduct a virtual food drive online with us, and it's very simple, and that helps us to go out and purchase the food that we need that's good and nutritious to redistribute. So if anybody wants to get involved, we can use their time, we can use their treasures, and we can use their help in raising food.
So many paths in which you can help this organization and help your fellow man, fellow woman, fellow child in this community. If a viewer out there is struggling, like one of the individuals you mentioned earlier, if someone out there is hungry and needs help, what do they do? How do they get in touch?
Well, they can either call 211 and they will direct them to one of our emergency food box sites, or they can call directly our number, which is 615-329-3491, and we'll also be able to direct them where they can go and get a box of food.
And the need, in the last few seconds, the need, I'm sure, is very high right now as we approach the holidays.
It is. So we need everybody to contribute.
All right, Jaynee, someone who's been the greatest contributor of all, leading this great organization for so many years. We are so lucky to have you in Middle Tennessee.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jaynee. And we'll be back in just a moment. Thank you for watching Community Health Matters. Learn more ways to improve your health at mycommunityhealthmatters.org. And remember, here in Middle Tennessee, our community health matters.